Good morning, everyone. When we talk about martyrs, often we say, well, those people died for their faith. We don't know very much about them, but we just know that they were martyred and put to death. Today it's a little different because we have two saints, Saint Perpetua and Felicity. Their martyrdom is fairly well recorded in some detail, unhappily so. But they were both young women. One was a young mother in her 20s. She had a young child. She was still feeding it. The other was a pregnant woman, and she hadn't given birth yet. And sadly, she gave birth to the baby a couple of days before she was martyred. The baby survived and went on. But what we see in them is that they were not prepared to give up their faith. This was in the year about 203 or so, during the time of the Roman persecutions. And many people were being put to death because of their faith. They were not prepared to renounce Jesus Christ. And for a young woman to actually say, well, I'm do what you want to do to me. I'm not prepared to give it up, even though I know that I'm leaving a young child behind. And so they're put to death in horrible ways. And sadly, to celebrate the emperor's birthday, people were put before wild animals. Strange kind of logic, but it's sad, and it's part of our history. But we need to look at the faith of those people. How strong was it that they were prepared to take that, to make that sacrifice? Today we are asked to make something of a sacrifice. I mentioned the other day that we should fast, if possible, every Friday during Lent. Certainly we should avoid meat. When we were kids, we didn't have meat any Friday. And there are parts of the world where that is still followed. But we are encouraged, especially during Lent, not to eat meat. We don't have to fast on Fridays, but we should abstain. And that is why, because the thinking is that the only blood that should be shed on a Friday, because that's the day that Jesus died, was the blood of Jesus, and no other blood should be shed. So we should avoid eating meat and try and discipline ourselves in some way by the kind of food that we eat. Keep yourself safe. We'll see you again. God bless. Bye-bye.